My beloved child, pause with me for just 22 seconds. I am asking with urgency, not because I am impatient with you, but because this small window carries a weight that cannot be postponed. Give me these seconds, because they may be the last quiet opening your heart has before the noise rises again. I am not shouting to scare you. I am not whispering to be ignored. I am speaking now because one chapter is closing, another is waiting to open, and you are standing between the two. I need you to stay here with me. Not scrolling, not doubting, not assuming this is meant for someone else. These seconds matter more than you realize. I would not step into your day like this if it were not necessary. This message did not just appear. It was not random. It was not an accident. Someone connected to your heart felt a pull they could not fully explain. A thought, a concern, a sudden nudge. Send this to them. They need this. That movement was guided. I chose the path. I knew whose voice you would recognize. I knew who your heart would not easily ignore. I know who you trust, whose words slip past your defenses, whose care you believe. That is why this message traveled through that person. They were not chosen accidentally, and neither were you. This is personal, intentional, tailored for you in this exact form at this exact time. My beloved child, I have been reaching for you longer than you know. Not just today, not just in this season, across years. I brushed your spirit with my voice in ways so gentle you sometimes missed them. I spoke through small signs that looked ordinary, a sentence overheard at the perfect moment, a verse or phrase that would not leave your mind, a sudden thought that interrupted your busy routine and made your heart pause. You called it coincidence. It was me. I spoke through the silence too, in nights when you lay awake and your thoughts grew heavy, in prayers that seemed to echo back to you with no reply, in waiting that stretched longer than you thought possible. You mistook my stillness for distance. You wondered if I had turned away. You asked if you had done something wrong. But my silence was never abandonment. It was protection. It was shaping. It was me holding you back from paths that would have broken you before you were ready to see why. I was teaching you to sense me beyond noise, to know my presence even when there were no words. I spoke through people as well, through encouragement from those who saw goodness in you couldn't see in yourself, through correction that unsettled you, that tugged at your heart and asked for change. Sometimes you listened, sometimes you pushed it away because it asked more than you felt able to give. I understood. I did not withdraw my love. I even spoke in your pain, though I did not design those wounds for you. I did not cause the heartbreak. I did not write the betrayal. I did not choose the disappointment, but I stood inside those moments with you. When everything felt fragile, when your strength felt thin, when you looked at your own life and did not recognize yourself, I was near. I was slowing you down, pulling you away from a pace that would have emptied you completely. You survived many things, but you did not always heal. So I waited, gently, patiently. I waited through the seasons when you numbed yourself instead of listening to what your pain was trying to reveal. I watched when you told yourself, "I'm fine," while your spirit whispered, "I'm not." My patience did not run out. My persistence did not fade. I am not like human love, which tires with delay and cools with disappointment. I do not give up on you when you hesitate. I do not turn away when you are slow to respond. I have been here, watching over you, guarding you, guiding steps you didn't even know were guided. That is who I am. If Christ is the foundation that has kept you standing, whisper it now, and let your spirit agree. And if you feel it in your heart, you can type Amen as a small act of faith and outward echo of what is rising within you. But hear me, beloved, this moment is different. This is not just another nudge. This is not a soft tap on your shoulder. This is a clear call. Not because I am angry, but because you are standing at the edge of change. There are decisions forming around you that will shape more than just a week or a season. There are paths opening that will touch your future in ways you do not yet see. I will not let you walk into them without the chance to hear me clearly. I am not here to drag you back into your past. I am not here to replay failures or missed moments. I am here to gather every whisper, every nudge, every unanswered question, and speak them into one clear truth. I have been with you all along, and I am with you now. Nothing has been wasted. Not the delays, not the confusion, not even the times you ignored the pull in your heart. Each of those moments taught you something about yourself, your limits, your longings, your need for me. They brought you to this exact point where your heart is finally soft enough, your ears tuned enough, your spirit stretched enough to hear what you could not receive before. That is why this moment carries weight. Stay with me. Do not brush this off. Do not treat this as background noise. You matter too much to me for this to be casual. My beloved child, the path this message took is part of what I am saying to you. I chose someone close to you because I know you. I know which voices make you want to protect yourself. I know which ones you tune out. I know whose care you do not question. Love was the bridge I walked across to reach you. The person who sent this may not know why you came to mind. They may not fully understand the urgency they felt. They only knew they had to move, to send, to share. That quiet insistence was me. I speak to hearts in ways that feel like simple concern, a random thought, a sudden pull that will not go away. That is often how the divine moves, quietly, naturally, through willing hearts. Understand this, my child. Spiritual connection is real. When two hearts are tied by care, by history, by shared tears and laughter, that connection becomes a pathway for me. I move through love because love reflects who I am. That is why this did not come from a stranger. It came from a familiar presence, so your heart would relax enough to listen. You might be tempted to call it coincidence, to say they just thought of me, to think it is nothing more than timing. But how many pieces had to align? How many delays? How many decisions? How many random moments had to fall into place for you to be here right now, reading these words at this exact moment of your life? Chance is not this precise. Coincidence does not know your private pain, your late-night thoughts, your quiet questions. I do. I orchestrated this gently, not to control you, but to reach you, because you are worth that kind of care. I know the doubts that rise up even as you listen. Am I reading too much into this? Is this just my mind? Maybe this is for someone else. But listen carefully. I am not vague when I speak to those I love. I know your history in detail, the parts you show the world and the parts you hide because you think they make you weak. I know what you've endured without applause. I know what you did for others that no one ever acknowledged. I know how many times you swallowed your own pain just to keep peace. I have not forgotten a single moment when I nudged that person to send this. It was not only to deliver words, but to remind you that you are still seen by me, and through me, you are not as invisible as you feel. Your life touches others more than you realize. Your presence still matters even on the days you feel like you're fading into the background. This too is part of my message. You are remembered. You are not lost in the crowd. You are not overlooked in the web of relationships around you. If your heart feels this truth even a little, you may write Amen again, not for me to love you more, but for your own spirit to say, I hear you, I'm listening. Now, my beloved child, slow down with me for a few seconds more. I know how your mind races to the next task, the next worry, the next obligation. I know how unnatural it feels to stop without guilt, but I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be present. Breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Notice the tension you carry every day without even seeing it. For a moment, let it loosen. You live in a world that celebrates constant motion, always moving,
always responding, always comparing. But my voice does not shout over chaos. I speak in clarity, and clarity needs stillness. Stillness has frightened you at times. In quiet moments, old memories rise, unhealed wounds speak, worries become louder, so you stay busy. You keep your mind occupied so your heart doesn't have to feel. I understand. I do not judge you for it, but stillness is not your enemy. Stillness is where truth meets you gently. Stillness is where you finally notice I have been here all along. You do not have to fix everything in this pause. You do not have to pray the perfect prayer. You only have to be willing. Willing to listen without arguing. Willing to receive without instantly doubting. Willing to be honest about what you feel instead of hiding behind what you think you should feel. I am not intimidated by your questions. I am not offended by your weird